because they're going to be able to walk through that process, take a look at all the gloves, let you know, be like, you know what, you're going to have to buy another glove in a few years. Why don't you get something cheaper this time? They're going to give you that in-depth advice that you're not going to get every day from coach or other parent on the team. Or
well, if I only show this side to the camera, that's an 8.
You can show the other side.
And then this side, it's still an 8, but it's out of 100.
Go ahead, open it up.
Let's do this.
But we do have a ton of options that are lower cost.
Yep.
And they can actually last a lot longer than you might think they will. A few that come to mind for me right away are... Welcome to the Beyond the Glove podcast, where we are always doing a deep dive on baseball and softball gloves. Today's episode, we're going to have a little bit of a Christmas ring to it. With December 25th approaching fast, we're definitely going to give you guys some tips on how to shop for gloves this holiday. But we do also think that the content that we're going to be discussing is going to be evergreen to use throughout the year and help customers while they're shopping for gloves. Today, I got our glove expert here with us, Tyler Amble. Tyler, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Ben. I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Tyler, Christmas is approaching. Yep. We got some hot chocolate with us right here. And I know that you love marshmallows. So why don't you go ahead, take a few of those, pour those in there for you.
That is beautiful.
Awesome. Well, yeah, man, thanks for joining us. Everybody that's watching, be sure to stick around for the end of the show. We're going to bring up 3 gloves that Tyler is going to unwrap that are going to be worth sticking around. They're going to have really good deals on them. So definitely go ahead and watch till the end or listen so that you can figure out what those gloves are.
I don't know what they are either. So it'll be a surprise for everybody.
It's going to be exciting. So the big thing we're going to be talking about today is with the holidays approaching is how do you shop for gloves? It sounds like such a simple concept, how to shop for gloves. The easy answer is obviously going to be go to JustGloves.com. We got tons of selection. There's a lot of great prices right now, but you can dissect this subject in so many different ways. Do you agree, Tyler?
Yeah. I think what we've done well at Just Gloves is we've made the process informative, which makes the process easier. So we provide you with resources. We've got available experts to chat with you, talk you through the process. These are people that have been in the industry for years and years, have had these calls, have had these conversations that maybe you only have, say once every 2, 3, 4 years, and then you don't think about it because you get a glove, you use a glove, it's there for you. It's one of the beauties of buying a great baseball glove or softball glove. Mm-hmm. So when I go to shop for a glove, the first thing I want to touch on is I need to know the size that I'm looking for, mm-hmm. which comes down to knowing what position I'm primarily playing. Mm-hmm. Myself, I played middle infield. So I was looking for a smaller infield glove that's going to be, reliable, have a pocket that's consistent, that I'm able to transfer, make the plays I need to. And from there, I would go down the line and think of things like quality, price point, web type. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it starts with size for me, and I go from there.
No, I love that. That's super helpful for the for customers out there as well. You touched on it. You mentioned reaching out to our team of glove experts. So if you're sitting there and you're trying to think of, you're like, oh man, like I need to buy a glove for my player. I have no idea where to start. Yep. We still have people who are willing to pick up the phone when you call, and they can help you make those make that choice of that glove that you need to get. Because you're buying for, let's just say, for example, you have an 8-year-old kid who just started playing baseball or softball. You're like, oh, well, I know I can buy a glove for $250, but do I really need that? And that's where our glove experts are going to come in and really help you out, because they're going to be able to walk through that process, take a look at all the gloves, let you know, be like, you know what, you're going to have to buy another glove in a few years. Why don't you get something cheaper this time? They're going to give you that in-depth advice that you're not going to get every day from coach or other parent on the team or something like that.
And one thing I want to touch on is our glove experts are employed by Just Gloves. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of places they'll actually outsource that to a different call center. These are people that are employed here. They're able to get their hands on these gloves. They're able to talk through them very thoroughly. Mm-hmm. And I think that goes a long ways towards having a real conversation mm-hmm. about a glove that is so important that is so, such an investment. If you're talking hundreds of dollars to buy a glove,
Yeah.
you want that to be, vetted and really thoroughly seen through. So I think that is important to know that when you're talking to our glove experts, you're talking to, you and I.
Yeah.
You and I both did that.
Yeah.
We sat there and we fielded those calls, answered those emails. So I highly recommend it. It's really personable. It's a really good experience, in my opinion.
And like Tyler said, neither of us just rolled up at the front door of Just Gloves day one and started doing podcasts. And we cut our teeth doing the customer experience center. We were glove experts for JustGloves.com, and then also bat experts for our sister company JustBats as well. So that's awesome. I liked how you said that size is your big thing, best place to start. Kind of along those same lines at like very basic rudimentary. I like to think like if my first question when someone would call in and they would say, I need help buying a glove, I would go right back and tell them, well, how old is your player? Because I think that's going to make a big difference too. Because, if you're buying for, again, 7-year-old example, you don't want to buy a 12 3/4 inch baseball glove. And I don't think grandpa's old 13.5 inch slow pitch glove is going to be the best glove for our 7-year-old. We're going to be talking, you had mentioned 11.5 inch earlier, I believe. Like you're going to be smaller. It's going to maybe even smaller than 11 inches. And as a parent, we don't expect you to know all of that stuff. So I think that's a great opportunity for you to come in and speak to our glove experts. And then also speaking about age, I would recommend taking a look at reviews on the website. Most people, when they write a review about a glove on Just Gloves, the first thing that they mention, they say, I was shopping for my 12-year-old or I was shopping for my 8-year-old. So if you are in that you're looking at a glove and you're in that same boat, always go to the reviews, see if there's any reviews, and go right there. And then, it's perfect because you might actually find someone who had the exact same situation as you for who they were shopping for.
Yep. And Ben, I want to jump off the rails real quick for you.
All right, let's do it.
I know you play slow pitch softball now.
I do.
What glove are you currently using?
Ooh, great question. Sorry, I'm adding a few marshmallows to my drink here. I actually use a 12.5 inch baseball glove. I use a Wilson A2000 is what I used to play slow pitch softball. It was I was able to play baseball in college and I played outfield. So it's a 12.5 inch and that's what I use right now for slow pitch. So I never even had to go buy a new glove for playing slow pitch.
There you go.
So, it's perfect. So love it. But moving on. So I'm going to you went off the rails. I'm going to say something that I think might be a little bit of a bombshell for you. And we're going to go up a little bit here. Earlier, we were kind of talking about buying gloves for a youth player. I'm going to this is going to be more pertinent probably towards our players who are early teens, getting into high school or college. I really think that when we think about our baseball equipment and gear, that we think of things backwards. So I personally think that if you're going to shop for bats and gloves, those are the big two things when it comes to playing baseball or softball. You got a baseball, you got your bat, and you got your glove. I think that most people are like, okay, bats are expensive. I'm going to have to spend a lot of money on my bat. And then they kind of shortchange their glove. I really think that we should be thinking about it the opposite way. Because your baseball glove, I would say for the most part, unless something really terrible happens, like you leave it out in the rain or your dog eats it, your baseball glove is probably going to have the opportunity to last you 3, 4, 5, maybe even longer years than that. I would say that 3 to 4 is probably the average, is what I would say. And a bat, if you get a full, this is what I would tell. I would tell people if you get 2 full summer seasons out of a bat, like that bat did a great job with durability. So I would tell people, I would say, hey, spend a lot on your glove. I would say, again, we're talking for older players, like $200+ I would spend that on your glove. And then I would look for bats. There's always closeout bats, especially alloy material that you can buy for cheap each and every year. You just need to make sure that it's a bat that fits your style of play. Do you disagree, or what are your thoughts here?
So I would disagree in the fast pitch market. I think when it comes to fast pitch softball, like you just have to spend up for a bat because those bats have to be composite to hold up to the rigors of play and the big softball. I think in that case, fast pitch, I generally think, I mean, you can still shop closeouts for fast pitch, but I do think you want to make sure you're swinging composite, especially at those levels that you mentioned. But as far as baseball is concerned, I think what you're saying has a lot of fundamental correctness to it.
Thank you.
I see where you're coming from, but I also don't want to discount like the ability to shop smartly in the glove market. You can still find high quality gloves that might be a year old on JustGloves.
Yeah, there you go.
That are going to provide you, the same high quality performance. They're just an older model. But I like where you're coming from a fundamental standpoint of let's get a glove that's going to last and we're going to maximize the use out of it. Where a bat, stuff happens with bats, things happen. I tend to agree with that on a baseball front for sure.
The other thing you mentioned with bats, stuff happens. For whatever reason, so everybody has to have a glove that's on the field. With bats, you could technically get by with one bat for the entire team, and it is so hard. People are like, only my kid is going to use this bat. And that's the hardest thing in the world because, like, if one kid is doing really well with the bat, everybody wants to use that bat. And how are you, like, going to be that person? Like, no, you can't use that. And I'm sure there's situations where you're able to do that, but it's harder. Like, bats just don't last as long. So,
no, they don't.
But yeah, no. So it's fun to, just definitely keep an eye out for those closeouts from our website. We've got a lot of them right now. Another thing that I wanted to touch on was, so I gave the example earlier that, this was for like higher level baseball players where it's like spend more on your glove. But we do have a ton of options that are lower cost.
Yep.
And they can actually last a lot longer than you might think they will. A few that come to mind for me right away are the Rawlings Sandlot series. Not only is that glove under $100, it looks incredible too. It's got like that brown kind of, Rawlings used to call it like Bruciato color leather. Yeah. Love that glove. That's perfect. The Mizuno, their MVP primes, they've been making those for forever. Yes. And they're typically always under $200. And I think most times under $150 is where you're going to get a Mizuno MVP prime. And then the last one, the Wilson A1000s are, when you think about the Wilson line, you got, highest level is A2K. Next, we got the famous Wilson A2000, and then we got the A1000, right below that. And those gloves, you're going to save money, and they're going to perform really well. I would guess that there are a lot of players, if you looked deep on like high school baseball teams that are out there, not everybody's using a super expensive glove. They are usually able to use gloves that are a little bit cheaper. And they're able to go a lot longer than you might think they will.
What's your threshold for, or like what would be your instance in which you would tell somebody they probably need to go to an A2000 over an A1000?
So I would say that if you're just playing, not everybody's going to play travel baseball. You might be able to just play for your high school. You like baseball, but it's not your main focus. You could probably get away with an A1000 if you're playing 20, 30 games a year in the spring. If you get to, I would say, high school level and you're playing your high school season and then you're playing 40, 50, 60 games in the summer, is probably where you're going to want to think to move up to like a Wilson A2000, Rawlings Heart of the Hide. The leather quality at that point, it's just going to be, there's going to be a noticeable difference and it's going to last longer.
Thinking outside the box, I also like to think of like coaches or like dads of teams. Like A1000 will do everything a coach, warming up players needs them to do, or like even like catching some bullpens, like for lower level younger kids. I think an A1000 makes a lot of sense there. It still looks good. It performs well, and it's easier to break in. Like if it's just like I need a glove, play catch with my son kind of thing. Like it's a really simple go-to. Great Christmas present.
There you go. Yeah, if you're buying for dad as well, And Dad plays a little slow pitch softball too. We actually have slow pitch softball specific gloves, like Miken. They have their player and pro series. Those gloves are great. They're really soft. You can break them in super easy too.
There we go.
Yeah. No, that's great. If you guys actually kind of thinking about it right now, if anybody out there has any of your own suggestions when it comes to like a low end glove that we didn't mention here, if you have any series, definitely drop it in the comments below. We would love to know that. And if you feel super strongly about it and we don't carry it, it might be something that, who knows, maybe we could look to later in the future to carry. So I told folks about it earlier.
Yep.
I told them we were going to have a grand reveal here. So I actually have 3 Christmas presents with me right here.
Ooh.
Here's one of them. I got them wrapped. I'm a poor rapper, but I did my best. There's 3 presents here. So I got a baseball glove, I got a fast pitch glove, and I got a slow pitch glove.
Okay,
so
let's do it.
These are 3 gloves. We'll tell you why you should consider them. But I'm going to let Tyler open it. Here's present number 1. We'll see what I have for him.
I do not know what any of these are. So
how would you rate my wrap job first off? Like,
well, if I only show this side to the camera,
yeah,
that's an 8.
you can show the other side.
And then this side, it's still an 8, but it's out of 100.
Go ahead, open it up.
Let's do this.
Go.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know this one.
Oh baby, look at that. That right there, that is the Rawlings Rev 1X. So the Rev 1X, it's been around it's about 2.5 years old now that these have been available. And the big thing about it, Tyler, if you can kind of show to the screen there for those that are watching, the back of the glove.
Yeah.
So the back is made from a 3D printed material. So the big thing that they're trying to do with this glove is, so leather, when you have it on the back of the glove, it's always going to be forming to the player's hand. What they're hoping to do is that material it'll still be able to move correctly, but it won't warp or anything like that. So that hopefully you can use this glove for many years, even longer than a regular glove, but the back is going to stay the same shape. Your other side where you're catching it, it is going to be it's going to be harder to hide leather from Rawlings. So it's going to be a really high quality glove. I think that players will really enjoy it. The reason that you should get it though is because these gloves were originally $399. You can get them for over $100 off at this time right now. Yeah. This is the first time that the Rev 1Xs have been on sale, so definitely consider that one. What's your biggest takeaway just from holding it there?
The feel when you put your hand inside of it is just buttery.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, that is nice. The back is it's truly unique. Like you're just not seeing this anywhere else. And then, it's got a little trademark in there.
Yeah, it's a Francisco Lindor.
A New York Mets shortstop. So it's a beautiful glove. The fact that you can get it for under $300 right now is pretty much an awesome steal.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great glove. Definitely consider it.
That's a great present. I'm excited for my next 2.
Here we go. Tyler, here is your next present here.
Oh. Ooh.
Nice.
Did you have this Christmas wrapping paper?
That's from my house. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Let's see. Fast pitch or slow pitch? Oh.
Nice. All right. So show that to the people watching there. So this is the Easton Elite fast pitch glove. So a lot of people, they don't always, you think of Easton and you're immediately going to think of baseball bats and fast pitch bats are most what you think. But we have so many awesome Easton deals right now. I love this glove because first off, you can get it for about 50% off at this time. Really great as well is if you spin it around to the palm side, do you see that notch that they have right there? That's going to make it much easier to close the glove. So
you can feel it straight away.
Yeah,
I mean, straight away, look at that.
I know. Well, and nowadays, a lot of people, understandably, they don't want to spend a ton of time breaking in a glove. So that notch kind of, I wouldn't say it eliminates the break-in period, but it's definitely going to make it shorter because it's just one less obstruction that the glove has to go through when it closes. So.
Yeah, I love this colorway. I think it looks really clean out there. Also, one thing I want to touch on, Easton and Rawlings have recently joined forces.
Yeah.
And we saw a huge boom with Rawlings bats, you know, what Easton is usually specialized in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Easton gloves benefit from that partnership going forward as well. I anticipate Easton gloves to get a lot better. Not that they weren't great, but you know, get some of those tips.
And that one specifically, this is the Morgan Stewart model. So she was a standout college player, and she's a pretty big influencer in the fast pitch space right now. So great model. And we're coming up here. We've got our last gift for Tyler. We've got a baseball and a fast pitch glove have already been gifted, so I think we can guess what we have here.
This is your best wrapping job, by the way.
Thank you. I'd give that out of 10. I'd give that a 7.5.
Yeah, this is solid.
It's pretty good. The corners aren't as flush as I'd like them to be, but what can you do?
So my grandma used to be able to wrap a present without any tape.
Ooh, nice.
Fun little fact.
Might need to bring that on the podcast.
I use an entire roll to wrap mine.
No kidding.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That.
Look at that.
Look at the finger stalls.
That is a Wilson
It's
A2000 right there for slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
So, you know, A2000, well known for baseball. They have fast pitch models too, but this is for slow pitch, and it is huge. It's a 14-inch length. If you are playing slow pitch softball,
Just for reference there.
yeah, there you go.
That's the size difference.
Nice. Thank you. That's a great visual. But yeah, so slow pitch softball, the ball's huge. You don't have to worry as much about like transfer as you do for baseball. So 14 inches is pretty long. This is going to be an outfield slow pitch glove, but you could probably use it on the infield too if you really want the most reach possible. Softball so big, you're not going to lose it in the glove while you're fielding. So
yeah, this is a great glove. You could tell just the way it's constructed, but it is very stiff.
Yeah.
So one thing to take note, this will take a lot of time to break in.
Yeah.
You'll want to get it now if you're trying to get ready for the spring. So a great deal right now at JustGloves.
We got it like $100 off on that glove right now.
Well, shoot.
So yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's huge. It'd be awesome in the outfield. You could probably buy this and never buy another slow pitch glove.
Yeah. I mean, because most people, if you're just playing recreational slow pitch, this is your last slow pitch glove, unless you love buying gloves. This is getting, for necessity, this will be your last one.
Keep buying gloves. We want you to keep buying gloves. But nonetheless, we do want you to have a great glove that you don't have to worry about, and this would be one of those.
Yeah. And one thing I would note as well, it does have the super skin on the back. Yep. The super skin, it's kind of like it's a replacement for regular leather to go on the back. So kind of in the same vein as the 3D printed material on the Rev 1X, it's going to be the super skin's big benefits are easier to break in. It's going to repel moisture better than regular leather. It's actually stronger than regular leather, which is the crazy thing. When you feel it, you're like, how is this going to be stronger? But it actually it is stronger. So that's awesome. It looks like Christmas morning here. We've got paper everywhere, which is awesome. I love it. Just a little precursor for what we're gonna get in a few weeks.
If I got any of these for Christmas morning, I'd be pretty stoked.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe not the fast pitch glove. That wouldn't do me much good. But honestly, I fit my hand just fine in there.
I put my hand in there too, and it is snug, but. That's an awesome glove. Like if you took that, I mean, seriously, if you're buying for a baseball player and you want something with a little, you could get
Nobody
that.
Would think
no
twice.
one would think twice when you took that out on the field.
No.
So it's awesome. Tyler, thanks, man, for joining us today and opening the presents. One thing that we do on every Beyond the Glove podcast before we end is we do 3 strikes.
Yeah.
So we've got you got 3 questions. You got 20 seconds to answer, like the baseball pitch clock.
Let's roll.
So here we go. What is the best Christmas song of all time?
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Ooh, it's a pretty good one. I like it. The 37th time that I hear it this season.
Oh, I usually only hear it once.
I'll get a little bothered, but no, it's a good one. I'll give it to you.
Fair.
All right, question 2. Are you a fan of eggnog?
No.
No,
I'm not a fan of eggnog.
So what is if you're going to have like a Christmas style?
Like a cider.
A cider?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
A nice apple cider.
That works. Okay, question 3. Best baseball gift that you've ever received for Christmas?
Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit, but my birthday is January 24th, so it's within the month.
Yeah.
I got an Icona
Ooh.
glove in 5th grade, and I used it through junior year of high school. Loved. I couldn't tell you the model of it. It's all worn out and it's crap inside.
Yeah.
But it was, oh my gosh, I slept with that glove.
Nice.
We did bake it in the oven.
Nice.
We did all the tricks to break it in, but that thing was old reliable.
There you go.
Love Nakona gloves because of that. Kangaroo leather.
Really?
Like I was stoked.
Do you still have it?
Oh yeah. It is just tattered though.
Yeah. Is it like, do you have it with you, or does your dad have it? I know sometimes like it's such a formative moment for dad and son that sometimes dad holds on to the glove.
Yeah, I think I have it.
You do?
I think my parents said, we don't want this. Like it looks destroyed, but
Nice.
it got like, how many years is that? 7 solid years
Uh-huh.
of like 60 to 100 games a year.
Nice.
Yeah, the thing held up.
That's incredible. Well, thanks again, man. This is awesome having you on. Moving forward with the Beyond the Glove podcast, we're definitely going to try to have some experts. We'll definitely have Tyler back again, and we might even add another one here coming soon. Try to get a little, three of us going and chatting gloves. So
That'd be awesome. Thanks for having me, Ben.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. See you, everyone.